Hello and welcome to Fortress, Alaska. I'm your host Dave, and today we're going to compare and contrast the generator to the power station. Go over the pros and cons of each and see which one you like. But what I'm going to tell you is if you're only getting one, get the generator. Battery power is limited and it's hard to charge in the field without a generator. A lot of people say you can use solar. Well, that's if the sun comes out. In our camping so far this summer, out of the probably 40 days we've been out, I think we've had 4 days of sunshine. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the generator. Generator's easy, just plug it in. It's going to run the trailer there, which is running stuff inside. Just start the generator, make sure everything's in the on position. This is not a tutorial on Hondas. Anyways, if you're going to get a generator, get a Honda. So as you can see, easy to start, somewhat quiet. It is a generator, but it'll run for 6 to 8 hours like this and give me all the power I could possibly need to run that trailer. And also, while it's running that trailer, I can also be charging these batteries. It's usually what I do. Make sure I always have charged batteries. But easy to start, provides all the power you need. If you kick on more things in there, the generator ramps up. It's got 3 stages. We rarely ever hit stage 3. But anyway, so generator, nice and quiet. Now let's talk about one of the really big perks of the generator. So here's the really big advantage of the generator. Gasoline. So here's probably another 8 hours of runtime. Meanwhile, when I'm running this, I can be charging that. So, and I can get gas almost anywhere, and refueling takes about, if the tank's totally empty, it might take me 5 minutes to carefully refuel it. But what I do is I just top it off every day after I use it. That way the generator is always full for the next day. And as you saw from the noise, the downside is the noise. And at most campgrounds, you cannot run a generator after 10 p.m. So if you're a night owl, you can't be using any of your 110 capacity in a trailer after 10 p.m. because the generator can't be running. That's where the power station really shines. Mostly in Alaska, campgrounds do not have electricity hookups because there's no electricity where you are. So it's not even an option. You either have a generator or a power station or both. So this is the Eagle power station. The big perk to this type of power station as opposed to a lot of the other ones you see available are the batteries. They're easily removable. So if you have extra batteries, you can just swipe them out. You can take them off and put them on a fast charger, which is what I do. And usually it takes about a half hour to charge 2 at a time. I don't let them go dead. If they were dead, it takes like an hour and a half to charge 2 batteries. So for moving it around, you can remove the batteries and this becomes significantly lighter. This is actually heavier than the generator with all the batteries installed. The other nice thing is if you have Eagle power tools, you get a battery with every power tool and it gives you more batteries. And so you always have lots of batteries for your Eagle power tools. Alright, so with the power station, it's easy to use. Just plug it in. The big advantage is after 10 o'clock because they're night owls and they'll be up to 2 a.m. or 2:30. You just put it in, turn it on, and then you have to turn on the outlets because you also have USB charging. Turn on the outlets. It comes on. That's the extent of the noise it makes, and it doesn't always make that noise, so that's hardly noticeable. So right now, with everything I have running inside the trailer, which is the 110 for the refrigerator freezer, I have some lights on and I have a fan running. I'll get 3 hours and 29 minutes. Mostly what they use it for at night is to run lights and to run so that they should decide to watch a movie, they can run the TV and watch movies. But that's what it's for. And if you're running a lot of things on it, so I get 3 to 4 hours because I'm running the refrigerator right now, but in the field I run the refrigerator on propane, so this goes up to like 10 hours of runtime. So that's actually quite a lot of time. And also why it's running and hooked there, it's charging the battery to the trailer. Both obviously when they're running will charge the battery to the trailer. So as you can see, it's quiet, and like I said, have a fast charger if you're gonna have a generator with it, so you can always be charging. Fast charging you have to do inside generally because of weather. But if it's nice weather, you can fast charge outside. And this can be outside, but it can't be directly in the rain or snow or whatever. So generally we have it underneath the overhang. And then when we're not in use, we have a weather cover over it so it's protected should we get horizontal rain. So when you're home, and you can slow charge, because it can take overnight to charge it when it's only down 2/5 of the way. You do have a charger that comes with it that's built to mount right to the top. The cords, you just disconnect the cords. You mount this right to the top where it's safe. You put the cords where they're safe, and you have everything in a package to go with you. The charger always stays at home for me because I use a fast charger in the field, and at home I use the slow charger. There's no reason to fast charge when you are at home. So go ahead and slow charge at home. Anyways, so that's what you do with the charging. Okay, one of the odd things that both these have in common is you shouldn't charge them while they're running. So while this is running, you don't have it connected to be charged, and while the generator is running, you don't try to pour gasoline in it. So both of them don't charge while they are running. One of the downsides, you might say, for the generators does require maintenance, whereas this does not. You do have to check and maintain the oil. I check it every couple weeks of use to make sure I still have oil. I always have a can of oil to top it off should it need more oil. Small engines do burn oil. It has a spark plug, it has moving parts, it can wear, it has a fuel filter. So all of that has to be taken care of. But the generator will give you much more power for a much longer period of time. This cannot handle the power that the generator can. The ideal situation is to have both, but if you're going to get one, start with the generator and then follow on with the power station. Now mind you, both of these, if you're camping out of a car or a trailer, because obviously you're not backpacking with these things. However, I will say I have flown in with generators, and these did not exist when I was flying in a lot of places. But this would be a very useful thing on flying trips. Give me that ability to have quiet power at night when I don't want to run a generator, because mostly I'm just running lights. So as you can see, you have different power hookups. This one has 3 connections for 110 outlets. It also has a port for USB, so you can charge up to 4 USB things at a time. So at night you can be sitting in your tent, in your trailer, whatever, and you can be charging anything, because this can be used inside. The generator cannot. Never use a generator inside, but the power station can be used inside. You're right next to where you're sleeping, no problem. So that's a big perk of that. Here we have the 30 amp and a 20 amp connection. 30 amp obviously the Loctite for running as a backup generator, and that's it. You have that. Then we also have the Eco Throttle, which you have it off for starting, but what that does is allows it to idle way down, so you burn very little fuel. So if you're not using much but just like charging things and just running a couple lights, it runs in the eco mode, and it'll run 8 hours in that mode. So that's really nice. So once again, I'm your host Dave, and today we compared the power station with the generator, pros and cons, and why you should have one or the other, or both. So as always, please like and subscribe, ask questions, make comments, and as always, have a good day and get out shooting, because that's what we're doing tomorrow afternoon.